Friends, it's Elisa from Paisley Papyrus. I'm here with another episode in my Gel Press January series, and today we're going to try something new. Again, my whole series is about just playing with my gel press and getting familiar with it, and today we're just going to try something completely off the wall. So the first thing I've done is I've ripped up some deli paper. This is just regular old deli paper. I literally got it off of Amazon, and I am going to lay this on here in random strips and see what happens. We're going to be sort of using it as a mask if it works according to plan. I think maybe that side will be fun. Let's put him down, see what happens. So if you are worried about playing with your gel press, I encourage you to consider maybe having a glass of wine to take the edge off and just getting out your supplies and going for it. I mean, what is the worst that can happen, right? Well, I suppose the worst that can happen is you can ruin your gel press, but that's very unlikely. So let's continue hanging a few more of these off the edges. Bring you in here. This guy's a little chunky and funky. I want a little bit hanging off so I have something to grab. Did you notice I got a manicure? Look, I have pretty nails for the first time in like, I don't even know, a long time. All right, because I have my new manicure, I'm going to wear gloves for this go around of Gel Press January. Actually, I'll probably wear gloves for the rest of Gel Press January if I can get them on my hands. Let's see here. Oops, my gloves are not cooperating. All right, let's put on the other one. And the first thing I'm going to do is use some bubble gum. I think it would be cool to lay down a layer of bubble gum. So we're just going to take a super thin layer, and this is our Fun Stampers Journey paint. So it's a nice thick full-bodied paint. It's like an artist grade, so it is not like the cheapy craft store stuff that I was using the other day in one of my previous videos. It is nice and thick and delicious. I love this paint. So let's see what we got. Got a little bubble gum laying down. The other colors that I have picked out for today are Sweet Berry, Cool Pool, Lemon Drop, and maybe whipped cream. I'm not sure about whipped cream, but I have it just in case I want it. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brayer this over top of those deli pieces that I have laid down in a thinnish layer. I don't want it to be super thick. I want it to be thin so I can put some other fun things over top. So I am liking this. It's fun. It's fun. I want to brayer out those spots from where I laid down the paint. I don't want any of those circles. All right, so I have it nice and evenly spread out for the most part. And I don't know why my brayer is squeaky, but that will go away. I'm going to let that dry. I'll be right back. All right, I am back, and I am going to lift up all of these pieces and reveal the whites, or the unpainted, the blank space, the negative space underneath. And let's take those and get them off of there. Comes right up. And this last one. All right, so this is the piece of deli paper that I used. I cleaned off my brayer on it in between. That's what I ripped up. And then I'm going to bring in this gel impressions plate from Gel Press, and it's called Fluttering Hearts. It is number JM0108. It is new to me, so this is my first time opening it, and I am going to use my Sweet Berry next. So I don't know how this is going to go, friends, but we're going to learn it together. let's try. So my first thing is I'm going to bring in some sweet berry over here on the other side. And I'm going to, oh, yeah, it is open. Just making sure. Go a thin line across like that. That's probably way too much paint. But again, that's the sweet berry paint. I'm going to bring it over here and roll that out. Get my brayer nice and covered with that sweet berry paint. And then I'm going to peel the backing off of this. I'm going to set this right, well, it's hard to do all of this on camera for you. Got my brayer all covered in paint. I'm going to set this guy down right here and brayer on those hearts. Sorry, you can hear my daughter hacking up a lung in the background. My family, my children are sick right now. Poor babies. And then I'm going to lay this on here like so and press it down. This is not a perfect art, as we know. I'm going to peel that up. Oh, some nice tender hearts. So let's see if we can get another impression on there. Over here on the other side. And put that guy right about here. Press him down, see if we can get some transfers going. Oh, that's too light. All right, so we need some more pink. Oops, I just stuck my finger in the wet paint. Some sweet berry. Lay him down. Oops. That's the problem with working with gloves, is you pick up things that you don't necessarily mean to pick up. And then we'll get some more paint all over my brayer. And then we will set him aside. Bring in my little jelly plate, impressions plate. Cover that up. Making sure to get this side over here since he's the one who's going to be being laid down on the plate. We will put him right there. Lift him back up. That's pretty fun. Let's put this guy right up here. So we're basically using him as a little bit of a stamp. That guy right there. And let's put this guy right over here. All right, now I'm gonna go clean this guy off and let that guy dry. Okay, we are back. I have taken my sheet of deli paper and folded it in on itself over here. I'm going to put a little bit of Cool Pool here on that. Cool Pool acrylic paint. I'm going to take an inexpensive makeup sponge and get these at the dollar store. And then I'm going to pull out my polka dot wall stencil from Fun Stamper Shirley. Let's get him open and get him out. And let's add some circles. Everything is dry. Just wanted to make sure you know everything is dry down there. Nothing is still wet when I lay this guy down. Let's see here. Let's put you right about there. And then we're going to take this guy. We're going to just dab him on in a couple of spots. Not everywhere. Just in a few spots. And then we're going to take this guy and we're going to put him here. And a little bit over here. And right about there. Let's add some more to that. I have no idea what's going to come out of this, but no one knows until they experiment, right? This guy over here. Maybe a little more up here. Might want him a little bit thicker than what I'm putting, but I am liking this. So it does not require a lot of paint, so that's kind of fun, because this is my delicious paint and I don't like to give him up easily. So put this guy up here. Let's give him a little stripe over here just for giggles and grins, because we can, so might as well. Oh, this one's a little thicker over there than I meant for him to be, because sometimes the little edges are delicious in their extra buildup of paint. So we'll put some there, a little bit here. And I am just daubing him on wherever I feel like it. There's not really any rhyme or reason to this. Just trying to fill those circles that I feel like filling. And oops, didn't mean to do that. More on this guy. More on that guy. Okay, and then we're going to lift him up and let that layer dry. So now we have some random circles, some random sponge marks. We're going to let them dry. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've let that layer dry. I've cleaned off my stencil. Now I'm coming back with Lemon Drop. So we are just going to take a little bit of Lemon Drop over here on my paper, my deli paper that is my throwaway paper. Or maybe not. Who knows? Maybe I'll turn that into something later too. That's the beauty of gel press. So I'm literally just going to take a toilet paper roll and put that around there, and I'm going to go in and daub him on. Off the side, right up there, a little bit there, maybe there. Double this guy up a little bit for some fun action over there. And let's do that guy doubled up too. And then one more over there. All right. Yep. Let's give the little guy in the corner. Anybody else? I think that's pretty good. Okay, we're going to let him dry too. All right, crafty friends, I am back. It is the next morning. It is completely dry. The thing is that last night, whenever I was videoing, I paused my camera after doing the yellow rings. Well, I didn't actually pause the camera. It was still running during the drying time. So when I came back and unpaused the camera and hit play or hit record, I was actually stopping it. So you missed me making the little white circles. But that's no big deal. I just put a little of my whipped cream paint over here on my palette, and then I used a water bottle and dipped it in and went around and laid that around. So that's really all you missed. So for our next step, pardon me, now that we are all dry completely, like I said, it didn't have to dry overnight, but in my case it did because I needed to go to sleep. So we're going to take regular old packing tape and we are going to lay it down on our gel press. And push that down and cut that off. This is going to be a little tricky for me since it's clear. I need to see where I've lined it up to, so I might go a little slower. So I might end up deciding to pause the video again so that you don't have to watch all of this while I line it all up. Oh, actually, that's not so bad. Let's do another one. Oh, I have a kitty who wants some attention this morning. I can hear him behind me meowing for some love. So I'm going to do this in a like manner all the way across. I almost overlapped that one. Now you don't have to get them right up next to each other like I'm doing, but I want to get as much bang for my buck after all that time invested into making these. I'm going to move this over out of the way, and I'm going to do my very last one. Put him right here. And there we go. Press him down. All right. So now I'm going to come back with my brayer, which is still covered in, I cleaned it off, but now the acrylics seem to want to stick to it. I'm going to brayer that down really well all over the tape that is touching my gel press. I want to make sure it is good and down. And you know what? If I had a squeegee, I would do that too. But I'm going to take an acrylic block because I don't have a squeegee here near me. Oops, sorry for the noise. Got a little carried away there at the edge. Make sure there's no bubbles. And then let's start with this middle one right here. We're going to go ahead and lift it up. My blue isn't coming up. Oh no. Well, this might be an epic fail. All right, so I've laid that piece back down. I'm going over it with my trusty Amazon gift card and pushing it in really, really well. All up and down each piece of tape. And this is where the jelly comes in handy because it can take the pushing and pulling. And since there's tape there, I'm not actually scratching my gel press. All right, let's try that again and see what happens. Who knows, maybe I'll like this piece of tape that got messed up. Nope, it appears to still be an epic fail. Well, okay, we'll see if maybe we can turn that into something because it's still kind of cool. So we'll see. But I gotta tell you, I think this is a technique that I will probably not be doing again. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. I would say that in this case, nothing was gained. But we will take these pieces of tape and see what we can make out of them. See if we can make anything fun on my cards with those. All right, I think you've seen enough of that, and I will come back and show you what I make with them. Thanks. So all my packing tape has been pulled off. Now I am left with this, which is actually kind of cool. So I think we're going to see if we can't get a pull off of this. So I'm going to use some of my whipped cream paint and brayer that out and see what happens. Now I have a piece of cream colored cardstock off to my right over here, and I chose cream mainly because I have an abundance of it. It's not very expensive paper that I have here, so that in the event this is another fail, I don't mind throwing it away because it's not my pretty whipped cream cardstock from Fun Stamper's Journey. All right. I don't know. Wish me luck here, friends. Personally, I'm holding my breath. Let's lay it paint on my manicure. It'll be all right. Actually, I have the glove right here. All right, the gloves are back on. I've pressed it everywhere on the back. Let's pull this print and see what happens. Let's hope we get something fun. Nope, look, it's pulling the paper off. It's actually ruining the paper. So this is not a technique that I will probably be doing again, because I'm sure that cleaning this gel press is not going to be fun after this. However, there are parts of this that are very cool, like that and that. I love this little bit right here and this little bit right here. The hearts came out really cute. So the hearts will be coming back again, but I will not be letting things dry in between layers. So that is my lesson here today. Now I'm going to go see what I can make out of these pulls. Thanks, guys. Okay, so off camera, I had all of this deliciousness still on my gel press. So I was playing with more paint and pulling more prints as I went along. So this one is just white, nothing but white added to it and then pulled off. As you can see, it didn't really pull off anything off the gel press, but it left some really cool texture in there. And then we have this one that I did next, where it was kind of the same thing. And then I added, let's see, which one did I do next? I guess I did this one next, which I think is cool because you can see bits of the yellow and the pink coming off of it now. And then I pulled a piece, I added some gray, and that's fun because now it pulls off a little bit more. So I think these will be really cool backgrounds for cards. And then I pulled this one and this one. So I love, like, I would have not picked this, so this is kind of a fun discovery, but I love like the cool pool with the red and the pink and the white and the gray kind of all mixed in there together. I think that's a really fun combination. So I'm going to go see what I can create with my tape that might be a fail and these textured prints that I pulled after the effect. And then I'm also going to clean up my gel press. So to do that, I'm going to just use hand sanitizer and wipe it all over and then wipe it off with a baby wipe and pack it all up. Thanks. Okay, I'm back with my gel press packing tape. I'm not quite ready to call it a win yet, but it's not a complete failure. It's not an epic failure like I thought it might be. So I applied it to some tinfoil. My fingers might be a little pruny because I just was in the kitchen doing dishes, and that, you know, made me think of things in there that I could put it on. So I tried tinfoil, and I think that's kind of cool once it's cut out. I'm not sure how it's showing up on camera because it's tinfoil. Then I used one of my gel press prints from the last video. This was the big piece of Creative Memories paper, if you saw that. I hadn't used it yet, so I decided to lay a piece of tape on that. I like that. I think that might be cool. And then I think this one might be my favorite. I put it on a piece of vellum, and I like that a lot better. Now we're going to try another experiment and see what we get. So I have some Journey Sparkle Dust here, and we are going to spread this around a little bit on here and see if maybe we can't do something cool with that. Make it kind of sparkly, but also trapped sparkle. This, again, might be a fail, but I don't care. It's cool. I am going to use my Journey crease tool to kind of spread that around. See, no, that's not really working either. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to use it kind of like a palette knife, or like a knife like I'm spreading peanut butter. I'm going to spread that around a little bit over here to the edges, over here a little bit, and see. Who knows? Maybe I'll love it. All right, so I'm going to wipe that off over here on my microfiber cloth, and I'm going to bring in another piece of tape. Let's bring in this piece of tape here, and we're going to lay that down on here like So move that up a little bit and use my trusty Amazon gift card. Oh, I don't know about this one, my friends. I don't know about this one. So we've got that all covered in sparkle dust behind it, but will it be sticking to the vellum at all? It does not appear to be really sticking. Oh, yes it is. Never mind. Nope, it's not really sticking to the vellum. So that means I'm going to have to hold this right here, peel up my vellum, and well, I don't know how I'm going to stick that on paper, but I have to say, all right, it is kind of cool having all the sparkle dust behind it. That's pretty fun. All right, so that one can go on a card. Well, since I have it here, let's fill it up all the way to the edge. All right, let's go clean that up and then shake off what's on there. And then I think I'm going to use my last piece on the vellum right next to this one because I think that one might still be my favorite. All right, so I'm finally back with my pile of cards that I made from all of the gel press tape experiment. So the moral of the story from all of this that I have learned is with your gel press, you know, as you saw if you watched the whole video and didn't fast forward through parts of it, I thought it was a fail at multiple times throughout the video, but the lesson I've learned is to just keep going, keep trying. This is a great opportunity to experiment and use your creativity. So this is the one that I took the tape and added sparkle dust to the back of it, and I turned it into that card. So it's nice and glittery, but the glitter is on the inside, so that's a nice effect. This is the one that I put on the blue and turned it into a man card. And then this is the one that I put on vellum, and then I backed it with the yellow and then turned it into that galentine card. This one is another vellum that I backed with Cool Pool and turned it into a Loads of Love card. This one I laid down on some gold foil and made that Valentine's Day card. And then this one I backed it with the vellum. This is the vellum, and then I laid it on some silver foil and turned it into a Love Ya card. Now, I actually am kind of smitten with all of those cards. Now, you also saw me make one out of tin foil, and I haven't gotten around to turning that into a card yet, but you'll have to check over on Instagram because eventually that will show up on Instagram as a card. And then, you know, I still have all of these prints that I pulled from what I thought was my Fill Your Gel Press experiment. So, and you know, I really, the more I look at them, the more I absolutely love them. Like, I adore that one. It's going to be so pretty. So the moral of the story, as I started to say, was keep going. Just keep going, because you will end up with some amazingly cool things that you can integrate into your craft making. And you might be completely in love with it by the time you're done, even though you totally thought it was a fail every step of the way along the way. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Gel Press January, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.